Hey there, grade eights. So today we're going to have a lesson talking about square numbers and area models. So first thing we're going to kind of do a little bit of a review. Is we're going to talk about how do we find the area of some type of a rectangle. All right. So if we have a rectangle that looks like this, and we were to break it up into individual units, we could say that it has a height of 1 and a base of 4. So we would actually go our area equals base times height. So our area equals 1 times 4. So that would give us 4 units squared. All right, so that would give us the area. All right, now what we're going to actually do is we're going to work with this base area model. So when we talk about a rectangle is anything where we have 4 90-degree angles. Okay, so we have a 90-degree angle here, 90-degree angle here, 90-degree angle here, and a 90-degree angle here. So technically speaking, anything that has 4 right angles is well, it's a quadrilateral, but in this case it's either a rectangle or a square. So what I want you to try to do is you're going to pause the video and you're going to try to make in whatever shape you want, whether it's a rectangle or a square, is I want you to try to find, with your piece of paper or if you're doing it on your computer, I want you to find quadrilaterals, so 4-sided shapes, that has 4 square units, 6 square units, 8 square units, let's go 9 square units, 12, 16, 16, 20, and 25. All right? I want you to pause the video, and I want you to actually go and try to make each one of these. All right? So you're making so that you have, in this case, I have 4 square units. Okay? You're going to do the same thing, but you're going to do one with 6. You're going to see how you can make it. All right? Pause the video, and then once you've done that, come back, and then we're going to talk a little bit more. Okay, so welcome back. Hopefully you were able to do that challenge. So what we're actually moving on to today is we're talking about square numbers. So when you went through all of those drawings and you actually put those drawings together, you would have found that some of them actually made perfect squares. And what I mean by perfect square is if you were to have something like this, you have 2 units here and 2 units here, which means it actually is an actual square, not where we had the rectangle. All right, this is not a perfect square because it's not a square. This is a perfect square. All right, so as you were going, you probably noticed that there were certain ones that made perfect squares. So one of them was when you have it as 2 by 2. All right, so here you have 4 square units. Okay, the other one that you maybe had was when you went potentially 3 by 3. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 square units. Right? The last one that you may, or the other 2 that you may have found, is when you probably went and did 4 by 4. And when you did that, you got 16 square units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All right, so what does this tell us? This is telling us, and this is going a little bit ahead, but we actually have numbers that become perfect squares. So we've got 4, we've got 9, we've got 16, and there's a bunch of these numbers that actually work out so that if you were to draw it and do an area model, you would actually get a perfect square. Okay? So a perfect square is basically when you can multiply the same number times itself. So here we're saying 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 4 is 16. So When we multiply that number by itself, we are able to get what our perfect square is. All right? And that's basically saying the area. We're looking for what the area is of that perfect square. All right? So, so this would be the perfect square that we're actually looking for, or the square number is also another way that we can say it. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to go through some examples. I'm going to post exactly what those are that you're going to have to work on in our Google Classroom and on our digital classroom, so that you're able to actually practice drawing and recreating and coming up with what some of these perfect squares might be. All right. Then you're going to join our Zoom class later, and that's where you're going to have the opportunity to ask any questions about this. But please make sure that you have watched this video and done the work first, and then bring your questions after. All right. Have a great day.